Welcome back to another episode of I Am Okay series, this time about anxiety with Anna. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, yes, thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to talk about anxiety today. My name is Anna Waffo and I'm from the Psychological Counselling of RWTH Aachen.
What is anxiety and why do we experience it?
Anxiety is a natural and vital emotional and physiological response to stress, uncertainty, or perceived danger. It often feels like unease, worry, or nervousness, and it can manifest physically as a racing heart, for example, sweating, restlessness, or difficulty concentrating, for example. At its core, anxiety is linked to our fight or flight response, a survival mechanism that evolved to protect us from harm. We feel anxiety because our brains and bodies are hardwired to detect and react to threats. When faced with a situation that feels uncertain or potentially harmful, our brain releases stress hormones like adrenaline or cortisol, preparing us to respond. While this can be helpful in dangerous situations, really, it can also be triggered by modern day challenges like deadlines, social situations, or fears about the future, where a physical fight or flight reaction isn't necessary, actually. Interestingly, a certain level of anxiety and the corresponding physiological arousal can be beneficial, as it helps us to stay alert and focused, for example, during writing an exam. However, when it becomes overwhelming or persistent, it can interfere with daily life, which is a hallmark of anxiety disorders then. More on that later.
How does it show up physiologically?
Typical physical reactions might be racing heartbeat very often, sometimes even chest pain, cold chills or hot flashes, dizziness or feeling faint even, sweating very often, muscle pain and tension, numbness or tingling, trembling, shortness of breath, upset stomach also often, or nausea, shortness of breath, dry mouth too. Yeah, these are typical physical reactions to anxiety.
After a mini survey conducted by the AB, we found that international students often experience social anxiety, exam anxiety, and general anxiety about the future. Is this common?
It's absolutely understandable that these are fears international students experience. Arriving in a new country, in this case Germany, with this distinct culture, language, and social system, it can be overwhelming for someone. You find yourself navigating unfamiliar social norms, rules, institutions, and daily life that may differ greatly from what you're used to. Adapting to this new environment, its people and its system presents a significant challenge, even more especially to young students, for example. It's natural to feel uncertain, uncomfortable, or even anxious. This human reaction takes time to process, and as a psychologist might say, it requires developing new strategies for life in a different context. You might find yourself wondering, why do people behave like this? Why will I be accepted, for example? Can I truly adapt to all the environment around me? Academic concerns may also surface, questions like, will I manage the studies, understand the structure and content, and pass the exams, for example? And looking toward the future, where will I live? Will I find a job? Can I build a stable life here? These are all common and valid questions. You're not alone in asking them. Finding answers takes time, effort, trial and error. It's absolutely okay. And occasionally a bit of help is also needed from others.
What can be helpful to deal with anxiety?
Managing anxiety often involves a combination of professional treatments and personal coping strategies. Professional treatments are psychotherapy, for example, and psychiatric medication also sometimes. One psychotherapeutic approach shows up to be effective by identifying and managing anxiety related through patterns and behaviors. It's called cognitive behavioral therapy. Mindfulness-based interventions can also be very helpful. Here, awareness and presence and focusing are cultivated to strengthen the psyche. Furthermore, it's helpful and important to come into action yourself by developing personal coping strategies. These can help you to better deal with stress and anxiety reactions. Specifically, regular physical activity, for example, yoga, walking or swimming, running, can reduce stress and improve mood. A balanced diet and sufficient sleep are critical for mental health too. Relaxation techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or progressive muscle relaxation can calm your mind and body. There are helpful videos and instructions available on the web, as well as apps which might give you guidance. Journaling may also help you, since writing down your thoughts and worries enables you to better process them and gain perspective. Time management is another helpful approach. Breaking tasks into smaller, manageable steps can prevent you from feeling overwhelmed. Furthermore, it's desirable to develop or strengthen the capability of self-reflection, reflecting on your emotions, your needs, your wishes, your thoughts, also your behavior and reactions. In short, on you as a human being, can be very helpful to figure out what you do next and how to deal with challenges. Healthy distractions also support mental health. Taking up hobbies, exploring, for example, creative outlets, or spending time in nature can shift focus away from anxiety. Last but not least, social contacts are very critical for mental health. We as a human being, we really need social contacts. Building a support network, talking to friends, family, or support groups can ease feelings or isolation. Remember, everyone's journey with anxiety is different, and it often takes some trial and error to find what works best for you.
Is there a small exercise someone can do if feeling anxious?
A kind of first aid for dealing with anxiety and stress is breathing. Take a deep breath in through your nose, purse your lips, and slowly exhale through the pursed lips. Repeat this a few times. Maybe you've done this intuitively in a situation before. It's very calming. Another somewhat more sophisticated method is as follows. You take your hand and place the index finger of the one hand on the outer edge of your thumb of the other hand. As you inhale, run up your index finger up the outside of your thumb to the tip. As you exhale, move your finger down along the inner side of the thumb. With the next inhale, trace up the outside of your index finger to the tip, and as you exhale, move down the inner side of the index finger again. Continue this pattern and repeat it as often as you want. You can repeat it and go back this pattern.
When can it be helpful for someone to seek professional help?
If anxiety interferes with someone's daily life, relationships or work, or overall well-being, it may be a good time to seek professional help. If you experience persistent worry, anxious thoughts that are constant, overwhelming really, and difficult to control, reaching out to a therapist or counselor can be beneficial. Physical symptoms, as we described before, as well as sleep problems, can also be signs that help might be needed. Sometimes people start avoiding situations like social events, work responsibilities, or activities they once enjoyed. This, as well as physical symptoms, might become an impact on your studies or your relationships. You might be struggling to concentrate, make decisions, or maintain healthy connections because of every excessive worry. You might feel trapped in a sense of helplessness or frustration about not being able to manage anxious feelings alone. Don't hesitate to reach out to us as a psychological counseling then. You're invited to share what's on your mind. Together we will explore what support could be helpful for you. Anxiety is a common experience and reaching out for support is actually a sign of strength.
Which are typical anxiety disorders?
Common types of anxiety disorders include generalized anxiety disorder, for example, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, and specific phobias. Generalized anxiety disorder involves excessive, uncontrollable worry about everyday subjects concerning work, for example, health, relationships, often without a clear reason. Panic disorder is characterized by sudden and intense episodes of fear called panic attacks, often accompanied by stronger physical symptoms like shortness of breath or racing heart, as we already said. In social anxiety disorders, someone experiences intense fears of social situations, making everyday interactions feel overwhelming or embarrassing. It goes far beyond everyday shyness or nervousness. People with specific phobias experience an extreme fear of certain objects or situations, for example, like heights, spiders often, or flying, leading to avoidance behavior then. These are some examples. If anxiety feels like it's reaching this level, it's absolutely legitimate to seek professional help.
Where can someone seek help?
For students of RWTH Aachen, the psychological counseling can be a first contact point. You're invited to make an appointment online. More on this later. Other points of contact can be the psychological counseling of Faculty 4, Mechanical Engineering, or the Center of Mental Health for Students, the ZPG of Uniklinik RWTH Aachen. This is the University Hospital in Aachen, or the Student Health Management, the SGM of RWTH Aachen. You can further contact your general practitioner in every case, or the Telefonseelsorge Germany, a nationwide counseling service in Germany available via telephone, chat, and also email.
What does the psychological counseling of the RWTH offer?
The psychological counseling of the RWTH offers a wide range of psychological support for students. In individual counseling appointments, you can share your concerns with our psychologists, me for example too, and ask questions. We will listen, work out with you to identify what might be helpful and explore the next steps you can take to feel better. An appointment for an individual counseling can be made via the website and appointment booking tool there. Our academic skills workshops cover a range of topics, including motivation, postponement, also very often a topic or a concern students have, also known as procrastination. Social skills can also be a topic, or exam anxiety. The workshop called Coping with Exam Anxiety is conducted in English. The workshops include either 1 or 2 or up to 6 sessions and provide theoretical insights into the topics and interactive exercises too. Visit our website to access all details and sign up for the workshops. On our website you can further find tutorials and podcast series on topics such as learning how to learn, exam anxiety to exam preparation, but also relaxation and activation, also loneliness and other topics. Each academic year, there's also a series of events and information sessions on various topics, such as anxiety or autism. This project is called Raising Awareness of, and you can also find it on our website. Finally, I hope it became clear that experiencing anxiety is a human and vital reaction, something every student faces at one or another point of time. What's important is learning how to navigate these feelings, take proactive steps, learn how to deal with situations, and build trust in yourself. If you ever feel overwhelmed or need support in dealing with mental health challenges, we are here for you. Don't hesitate to contact us then. All the best, and thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about the very important topic, really, of anxiety. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching the video, and thanks Anna for her insights on this topic.